Good morning. We are back on Summit Sunrise with very, very special guests. We have the Breckenridge Fine Art Gallery here. We have Paul Cohen, and may I please introduce to you all Bradley Chance Hayes, and you go by Chance.
Yes, ma'am.
Chance. And this is such a unique and cool artist that we have here in the studio today.
He is unique, I'll say that about him.
Because
Great personality, too.
Great personality, but not only are you an amazing and accomplished artist and author, but you're also a rodeo star?
Yes, ma'am. The rodeo's been pretty good to me this summer. I came up to show in the gallery up here and rodeo in the pro circuit, and just finished up the Steamboat Pro Rodeo Series and Steamboat, and then Breckenridge has been going on, and I've been trying to go to those rodeos, and so it's been a real good summer. I think I'm sitting third in the circuit up here now. So,
congratulations.
Yeah, so it's been good.
Oh my gosh. Paul, you're amazing. How do you find these amazing...
I don't, actually. They find us. No. Actually, Jim Tillich, who owns the gallery, okay, as well as the Vail Fine Art Gallery, he and Chance met up, and we just loved his work. Obviously, the art has to speak for its own accord. If it's not at a certain level, they're not getting into one of Jim's galleries. But his art is wonderful, it's unique, it's abstract, it's impressionistic, and it represents everything that the Great West is known for. It's all about cowboys and horses and rodeo.
Yeah, and that's, I think, as far as I'm from Oklahoma. I grew up there. I went to Oklahoma State and rodeoed at OSU in college.
Okay.
And I got my Master's of Fine Arts degree at West Texas. And so I did my thesis.
You already have your master's.
Yeah.
That's
so I did,
very impressive.
And so I did that, and I spent a little time at SMU in Dallas at the Meadows Gallery, and just got to meet a lot of great people along the way in the art world, and I've just continued to keep rodeoing and staying true to the American West. And I do a little bit more contemporary Western art because that's just kind of what I've been called to do. And in my life, that's what I've been. That's where I find my love and my passion is to create a new, I guess I wouldn't say, I'm never going to be one that says like cutting edge, but I would say that I want to be on the front of what I think's coming around the corner. I really do.
And your pieces are so unique. You were telling me about that you use, your mediums you use, all different kinds.
Yeah.
So what is it that you use?
Well, I use watercolors, but I start off on my watercolors with just coffee because it's a little bit lighter brown, and so it's kind of a little bit more forgiving because I use a lot of brighter colors and silk dye and watercolor ink, and so using the coffee and using some lighter sepia tones to start off with, and then you coming in with bolder colors later.
Okay, so you start off with the more
a little lighter, and then I kind of build it up in as far as like the water media, and then in the oil paints I use a lot of palette knife and a lot of texture and a little bit more contemporary stuff going.
How cool is that?
Really, we would regard the oil paintings are oil paintings, but the others are what we call mixed media because it's not one medium that's being used. And it's interesting, he was in there the last couple of weeks. He's just been hanging out in the gallery painting as well, in between riding and roping and everything. So it's really wonderful to watch him work. So
that is so cool. You should I'm surprised you don't use some of the dirt that you have, from your cowboy boots or something.
Well, I actually did that in graduate school, a little bit of mud and stuff.
Yeah, why not?
But now I don't. I spend a little in the studio. I shoot. I really have got a good idea on what I want to do right now, and I'm gathering up a lot of the imagery that I've painted. I saw this summer rodeoing and working on ranches up here in Colorado. I still love to go and help old ranches brand and do stuff the old way.
Wow.
And
so I take my own horses and dogs.
He rolled up at 7-Eleven with a trailer with a horse on the back.
I'm headed to Pueblo right now. So
he's riding this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm up at Pueblo at the Pro Rodeo this afternoon. At 4:30 I run my first one, and then I'm up in the Performance live tonight.
Oh my gosh.
And then come back, got the art show tomorrow, And then Sunday, I've got the Breckenridge Pro Rodeo too, so I'm excited about.
He's riding, he's painting, he's riding.
Exactly. I know he has a whole flow here. Well, but what's really cool though is at the art gallery this weekend, you're also going to be painting. And can you tell me a little bit about that, Paul?
Sure,
how that works out?
We call it the Artist in Residence series, and the idea is we get the artist to bring their studio into the gallery. And Chance has got his table there, his special table, because he paints flat with watercolors there. So between 3 and 7, officially tomorrow is the show.
3
But he
and
may
7.
be in earlier, who knows? But definitely 3 to 7, he will be there tomorrow, and painting live. And we really encourage families to come in. We love to have whole families and kids and stuff. They deserve to be surrounded by fine art. We've got Chance's work there all the time now.
Yeah, and I'll be there full
when it's
time.
not sold out. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the problem. He sold out everything in our Vail show,
Right.
and he only just brought us in. We got five new watercolors and a beautiful oil, plus what he's going to be painting.
And so, I mean, it's a first come, first serve. I mean, and that's just the deal, you know. I mean, I have limited amount of time, and this is, you know, after I sold everything I had in Vail, this was the, you know, I immediately went back to the studio. I had a lot of, you know, what I call thumbnail pencil sketches, and was ready to turn them into paintings and had the ideas. I was just waiting for the time. And
Sure.
so when I had the moment, you know, and I've had this month, and I've really sat down and really worked on what I wanted people to see here in Breckenridge, and I'm really excited.
It's a beautiful collection.
And I'm
Really,
excited
really nice.
to have the nice space that the gallery, you know, has a beautiful gallery. They'll be displayed appropriately, and I'll be
Yeah.
there painting live. And then, you know, like I've got some cards for the kids if people want to stop in. You know, I've got
Yep.
stuff for them. Picture of me roping at
Ooh.
Santa Fe.
And signed by Chance.
Yeah.
How cool
From
is
Santa
that?
Fe's Pro Rodeo.
Oh
So,
my gosh. Wow, you are incredibly busy. But you know, what I think is so interesting about you is that so your senior show was purchased at OSU, correct?
Yeah, that was probably the way I understood it. The dean told me that's probably the first time that ever, you know, a senior college student, you know, I had some people in Oklahoma City and Tulsa just came over and bought everything I had, you know,
Oh
when I
my
was probably,
gosh.
From
I
back
guess,
home.
yeah, I guess, I don't know, I was probably like 23 or something maybe.
That's really
I can't remember.
That's really impressive. I
Yeah.
mean, to have, you know, you're a senior in college and oh, here's my senior art show and it's all sold and gone.
That's
I mean, what
kind
an
of a good
achievement.
indication he's got something special. And
I
stick
would
at
guess.
it.
I would guess so. And then you also, I wanted to bring this up. You authored and illustrated a book that's in the Library of Congress?
Yes, ma'am. I think what it was they were doing a traveling around Ozark Publishing when I was in elementary school, was doing a deal where you would write and illustrate a book, and then you would submit it, and then, you know, the person that won out of the school would go on to like a state
Okay.
competition, then a national competition.
Sure.
And this has been a while, when I was, I think, 12 when I did that, and then
Just a little guy.
yeah, I was a little fella.
You're a little cowboy.
A little guy then, and my story was picked out of the state and then out of the school, and so they were like, who did these illustrations? And, you know, the publisher contacted my mom and wanted my story to be the one that got published when I was about 12. So that was really cool. I mean, I don't think you can even purchase. I think they sold all those books through Amazon. I think they've already sold all of them. They had a hardback issue and a paperback. And
And what's your book called?
Dragonfly was what it was called. Yeah.
Dragonfly.
It was an accelerated reader for like, I think I was like 12 when I wrote the book, and then I
right.
think it was accelerated reader for like a year or two above us or something. But I was like, I don't understand how they picked that. But.
What did you use to illustrate that with when you were just
It was
12?
water media.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was the deal. I started when I was a kid. My mom had a recycled roll paper
Cool.
from a newspaper.
Yep.
And they would roll it out in the kitchen when she had cooked for my dad and stuff. I would lay there on the floor and
How
just draw
fun.
big murals. And so working on large sizes and small, it never really, you know, I got to college, and I've even been to New York a little bit and painted, and people were like, you know, size doesn't really bother you. And a lot of people, it did, you know. And so I've got these pieces now, and then I'm going to be coming up with some real large 7-foot pieces too. I've got in the works. So
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
big. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
To be able to work with a variety of sizes also is a gift. But the very fact that he started so young, art talent skipped our family completely. I do straight lines with a ruler, and that's about it. But I love art and I appreciate it. You usually are born with this gift, and then it has to be developed and everything. So-
Yeah, well, it sounds like, and your mother is an artist, correct?
yes, ma'am. She illustrates greeting cards, and she's taught for a long time, and still does a lot of different drawing things for just different people. That's where I definitely.
So, Mom.
Oh yeah, mom for sure, and dad. My dad was a really talented rodeo guy, and obviously I got a little bit of the.
You're like half and half, complete
Down the middle.
50-50.
Bit of mom, bit of dad.
Well, we're out of time this morning, which is unfortunate because I feel like I could go on forever with you guys because this is so cool. But be sure to go to Breckenridge Fine Art Gallery, say hello to Chance, and say hello to Paul. Tomorrow, Saturday, from 3 to 7,
That's it.
you can watch him paint his
Live.
beautiful photos. That is so cool. Bring the whole family. It'll be a great time. We'll be back with more Summit Sunrise right after this.